Focus. Symbota. Cyanide. No. No. Blue and white capsules. Blue and white capsules. 6, 8. Stop it. Start again. Focus. Blue and white. Focus. Why did you have that thought? Blue and white. Blue and white. Blue and white. Am I a bad person? No. Am I a bad person? Stop it!
For all I know, this was a deeply impactful film. And I think films like this are so important so that people can viscerally empathize with those who are enduring mental illnesses and disorders, including OCD. And when people so flippantly say, oh, I'm so OCD about this, or yeah, I'm OCD, when they're just fixing a painting and not understanding how deep that can go. And it's not something, by minimizing the experience, it doesn't bring the full breadth of what people endure, such as for our lead character here. And it really did take us on the sonic and the visceral and the physical roller coaster of those intrusive thoughts and how heavy and debilitating they can be. I thought this was really well done. The performance was striking and hard to watch in the best possible way. She really went there, which is vital for pieces like this to really strike our audience. I thought the editing was extremely sharp. It really did mess with us as an audience. And there's the moments of release, like the tension and release throughout the piece was a masterclass, and it made for that final ending to be even more impactful, because we've gone on that journey already and we care. So I was just really blown away by this.
For all I know, I really appreciated this. I thought that this was really intense, but really beautiful at the same time. And beautiful in its intensity, beautiful in its vulnerability, beautiful in its rawness and its, its kind of realness. I think that there are a few things when it comes to kind of the mental health world that have been batted about and talked about so much that we've strayed from their true clinical kind of definition, and it has kind of morphed into a more, kind of colloquial, understood, or a kind of just accepted societal definition, and less of what it means if you're talking to somebody that does that professionally. And I think that OCD and obsessive behavior could, like I said, it depends on the degree and it depends on how you're framing it, but I do feel like those are things that get brought up in conversation, in social media, in movies, in TV, in books, like just in entertainment in general. And I think that we as a society have kind of wandered away from how serious it can be by kind of using it a lot and kind of using that phrase a lot of, lots of things get labeled as OCD, but when you're talking about it clinically, when you're talking about it in a professional mental health space, it kind of takes on a different meaning. And I think that this is a great example of that, and really showing the reality of the extreme, like an extreme version of what this can look like, how you don't trust yourself, how it affects every aspect of your life, how it affects your relationships, and how it didn't necessarily always have to be there or be that way, how it can come out and rip things away from you, and you, as the person that is experiencing it, feel like you have absolutely no control, and that you're having to battle and work and, really constantly, consciously make decisions, consciously think through things, and how it can be a struggle day in and day out just to get through normal day-to-day life, let alone something that is as emotionally charged as reuniting with your daughter or seeing your grandchild for the first time. And obviously those were strained relationships, but the work that she had put into, I thought was so admirable. And like I said, I really loved how raw and vulnerable and real they showed. I thought that it was a beautiful way to showcase something so intense.
I didn't know that OCD presented itself sometimes as psychosis thoughts. I really thought that was just a form of psychosis. I didn't know it was OCD. This film would be a great PSA to show that it comes in more than one form. Because I think a lot of times we hear people who might have these dangerous thoughts, and that's usually what it seems like it's some type of psychosis instead of just OCD. And because it presents in different ways, this film really shows how tortured this woman is, where memories of what she thought she did or that she could have done resurface, or what she wants to do to her patients or anything else. It would be a horrible way to live, but it really is something that that people need to know about, that is a form of OCD, because I think a lot of times we just think it's a form of psychosis.
This film is called For All I Know. This was a touching film regarding understanding OCD. The lead performer is excellent, so convincing and full of emotion. The whispers of self-talk was also quite terrifying, as were the horrific images of what was imagined. Interesting info at the end about how long it takes to properly diagnose OCD. The editing was superb, as was the camera work, with clever shots including extreme close-ups. Good selection of both frightening and soulful music. Well done. Check it out.